Washington claims Chinese law will force Huawei to spy for the Chinese government. If you read the text of the law, it may sound bad. But many countries have laws that require companies to help the government fight crime or protect national security. US law lets the government intercept the private communications of Americans or non-US citizens who live in the country. A law called FISA says the US government can engage in surveillance of US citizens and collect their personal data. Authorities need permission from the special court, but they almost always get it. Then there's the Cloud Act. It says the government can force US tech companies to hand over private data stored on servers outside the United States. So even if you're an EU citizen and your data is on a server in Europe, too bad. The US government can still get hold of it. What about Australia, a US ally that supports Washington by keeping Huawei equipment out of its 5G networks? Like the US, Australia justified the ban by pointing to the Chinese intelligence law. But in 2018, the Australian Parliament passed the Assistance and Access Bill, sometimes known as the Anti-Encryption Law. It could force Australian tech companies to disable the encryption that would otherwise keep their customers' data private. Apple, WhatsApp, and Cisco spoke out against the bill before it became law. They said it could force companies to install backdoors in their products. Lawmakers ignored their concerns and passed the bill anyway. So China's intelligence law is not unique, but it still makes some people nervous. They say it will force Huawei to spy. Would it? Many experts say the answer is no. Zhonglun, a Beijing law firm, said nothing in the intelligence law would let the government force Huawei to install backdoors or listening devices or do anything else to compromise network security. I know, it's a Chinese law firm, but we're not done yet. Clifford Chance, a UK firm, said the same thing. China's laws cannot make a private company spy. And a law firm in Spain looked at all the Chinese laws related to cybersecurity. Same conclusion. There is no legal basis for forcing a company to spy. Whatever you choose to believe, legal experts are unanimous on one point. Chinese law applies only in China. It does not cover subsidiaries or operations anywhere else in the world. That's in contrast to some US and Australian laws, which give those governments access to data stored offshore. The US government has spent more than a year lobbying its allies not to use Huawei equipment in their networks. Some have agreed, some have refused, and some are still thinking about it. Whatever they decide, they should not be swayed by the idea that Chinese law could force companies to spy. Legal experts agree that no such law exists.